Welcome to the Feed for All video podcast creation tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going over how to create a basic video podcast. For information on creating an iTunes video podcast, please watch our iTunes video podcasting tutorial on our website, www.feedforall.com. The first step is to run the program, so find the shortcut for Feed for All on your desktop and double-click on it. When you first run the program, you'll see this splash screen. If you would like to purchase the software, left-click on the Buy Now button. If you've already purchased, please watch our Feed for All registration tutorial. To continue to use the trial version, left-click on the Continue button. Once in the program, go into the Feed menu and left-click on Wizard. In the first step of the feed creation wizard, left-click on Next. In the second step, the wizard will ask what type of feed you would like to create. There are currently 3 available options: Standard RSS feed, Standard Podcast, and iTunes Podcast. For the purposes of this tutorial, select Standard Podcast and then left-click on Next. In the third step, the wizard will ask you for a feed title. Your feed title is the overall name of the feed that you would like to be displayed. Enter the title for your feed, and then left-click on Next. In the fourth step, the wizard will ask you for a feed description. Your feed description should be a short, concise description for the purpose or content of the feed itself, not the items, which we'll get to later. After entering the description for your feed, left-click on Next. In the fifth step, you'll need to give the feed a link. Most feed links reference your website. For example, in this tutorial, I'm going to use our website, www.feedforall.com. After entering the link to your website, left-click on Next. When you click on Next, you'll see the Item Introduction section. This is the section we can use to create individual items in our RSS feed. So, left-click on Next to start the Item Creation Wizard. In the first step of the Item Creation Wizard, you'll need to enter a title for this specific item. In the space provided, enter a short title for this item. After entering the title, left-click on Next. In the second step, you'll need to enter a short description of the item in the space provided. After entering the description of this particular item, left-click on Next. In the third step, it will ask you for the item link. The item's link should be a URL to a web page that contains the full version of the information that this item represents. After entering the link, left-click on Next. In the fourth step, you'll be asked for the item enclosure information. The item enclosure information is used to add video files to your video podcast. In the first section, the URL, you'll need to give a link to the video component of your video podcast. This should be a video file, such as an AVI, MPEG, or other format that you have already uploaded to your website. When you uploaded that video file to your website assigned it a URL. In my example, I've uploaded a sample.avi file to my website, so my URL is going to be www.notepage.net/support/sample.avi. You'll notice that when you enter the URL, the type will automatically fill in for you. The next field, length, does not refer to the video length of the file. It refers to the size of the file in bytes. If you don't know how to determine the length of a file, here's what you'll want to do. Locate the video file on your hard drive. You may need to download the video file to your hard drive to do this. Once you've located the file, right-click on it, then left-click on Properties. In the properties of the file, you should see the size field. This is the number that you'll need to enter into the length field. Once you've entered the length, left-click on Next. On the final prompt of the configuration wizard, you can either click on Finish to complete the wizard, or you can left-click on Add Item to add a new item with the Item Creation wizard. After you click on Finish, the program will ask you if you would like to save the file. Click on Yes. A new prompt will come up, and it will ask you what you want to name the feed. This is the file name for the feed, and it is what will be referenced by your website. Enter a name for the feed, and then left-click on Save. This concludes the Feed for All video podcast creation tutorial. For more information, including tutorials on creating iTunes podcasts, please visit our website, www.feedforall.com.